Hi
Hi guys,
everyone, welcome back to another episode of Beyond Beauty. I'm Priyanka
I'm Kshitija.
and we're so happy to have you guys join us once again. And today's episode is really special and we're really going to dig deep into the journey of an identity, of our identity, which is a pride special.
Yeah. So it is our attempt to celebrate the diversity, the equality of the individuals from the LGBTQ community.
And I think this is such a special episode for so many reasons because I think the whole month of June is a great way to commemorate and like celebrate the LGBTQ community and just everything that they've been through and how much and how far we have come, and again of course how far we still have to go in terms of inclusivity. But I think it's so important to educate ourselves, learn about all of this and just really have open discussions,
True.
and that's exactly why we're here today.
Yeah. And that is why we also have amazing guests who will enlighten us
Yes.
about all the things we need to know. And this is all you can expect from this episode. We are going to have, like I said, two guests. And like you know, not to forget, we have like five lucky winners we are going to choose throughout the live. So you know the drill. You just have to keep commenting, interacting, keep asking questions to us and the guest. And that is your way to win an amazing hamper from Purple.
Yes. And I think we should just set a little context of why June is usually celebrated. I mean, June is celebrated as Pride Month. It goes back all the way to like 1969. So you can assume this is a little mini history session. But it goes back all the way to 1969, where we had these riots in the US. It was called the Stonewall riots.
Yeah.
And a lot of people from the community actually resisted arrest, fought for their rights during these riots, and that's kind of how we started talking about the community more openly and becoming more inclusive. And that was in the US. Slowly after that it
Yeah.
spread to different parts of the country. And I just this is because I read about it today. I also did not know that our first pride in India was only held in 2006, which is like
Oh,
now. Like we've come a long way, but this is like we
yeah.
need to be more open to these kind of things. But I think that's great.
Hmm.
And yeah, I feel we should now bring on our first guest because like they will tell us more about it.
True. So, our first guest is a brand marketer. She's a performer and she loves to take pictures, which is why her Insta ID says Photo Wali. I'm very interested to
Yes.
meet her. So, without wasting any time, let's have on the screen Nick.
Hello everyone.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
I'm amazing. So excited to be here.
Same here. So, Nick, why don't you tell us a bit about your personal journey so that our audience and us can get a little familiar with you?
Sure. So like many of you all know, I am Nick. Today I am without my partner. We would usually speak around, know us as Nick and Shantika. There's some lag I can hear. Sorry.
Yeah, even the
Slight.
audio is not clear. Can you come a little closer to your device, maybe? Or maybe increase the volume from your device?
1 second. Is this better?
It's all right. I think
Yeah.
we'll just refresh. Can you just say something so that we can hear?
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. This is better.
But when I
So you
start
were
talking,
telling,
Just 1 second. I'll just check with the team. Is there? It's fine? Okay. Cool.
everything is good.
okay, I'll take that again.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. So hi everyone, really excited to be here. Unlike always, today I am alone without my partner Shantika. You guys know me as and us as Nick and Shantika. To tell you about my personal journey, well, I think I was born a lesbian. It did not take me time to realize my identity, and as I was growing up, especially when I grew up in 90s in Mumbai, which is a typical Bollywood city, I would say.
Hmm.
There I always looked at the Bollywood movies and looked at the heroines romancing on the screen, and always thought that wish I could do the same. As I grew up, and I grew older, I realized that, oh, maybe I like women and my interest is towards women. And I always fantasized myself in that Bollywood movie, romancing another woman as a woman. So I think that's where I think the realization started off. And it took me a lot of time because like today's generation, we were not privileged to have internet so accessible. We did not have so much awareness around us. We did not have so much knowledge spread across like it is happening today. So we did not really know the term lesbians, but I knew for sure that whenever I looked at a girl, or when I had crushes on girls, and there was this kuch kuch hota hai feeling only towards girls. So I think that's where my realization started. And eventually, when I started meeting more community members, I think I attended my first pride in Mumbai in the year 2012. That's when I realized that it's not me alone, and there are so many bunch of colorful people just like me, celebrating their lives and living their true authentic self. And that gave me the courage to be myself. And even after so many years, it is difficult for us because uh, it's everyday coming on process. Nobody asks a straight person to tell them about other people about their identity on everyday basis, but we have to go through it. I meet a colleague, I have to make it clear to them and things like that. So it's an ongoing process for us. But yeah, the more and more I am into this queer journey, I'm loving and living to accept myself and bring out my true authentic self out proud and loud.
That was
That's yeah.
so well said and
Yeah.
like so well articulated. I think that was great. I just want to like point out like a lot of people are saying they love your lipstick, they love the makeup that
Oh.
you're wearing. The it is such a nice metallic shade. So I just wanted to ask like your I feel like makeup, beauty and like fashion is a huge part of the community to express themselves. So was that a process for you? Like to come to this being
Absolutely.
like yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, continue.
So while I was growing up, I was totally into sports. So I used to play cricket for the Mumbai women's cricket team, and I used to always be in my, cricketing clothes and things like that. I never really took care of my skin, never really bothered about makeup or anything as such. But like I said, as I grew older and I started accepting myself and trying to accept my authentic self. Just give me a second.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah. When I started feeling confident about my identity, when I had no fear to hide myself and express myself the way I want to, that's when I started experimenting with makeup. I tried my lipstick for the first time, I would say 2 years ago during COVID. Before that, I was not very comfortable with it because I always had this, sorry, I always had this tomboy identity. So I overcame that, and today, every time I wear a lipstick, I get a compliment. So yeah.
That's great.
So Nick, during like starting May, you mentioned about Shayantika, and I happened to stalk their account. They have this cute Instagram, like a cute couple Instagram account. Would you like to tell us like more about Shayantika and how did you meet her? How did the journey started together? I think even our audience would love to know about that.
Yeah. Um, so we are a fully filmy lesbian couple. That's what we call ourselves. We are Nick and Shantika. Our journey is also very filmy. It started off with we being enemies. We actually, when we met each other for the first time, we started hating each other. We did not even talk to each other properly. We had this assumptions about each other, but eventually, after sorry,
No problem.
it's really wrong with my throat. Give me a second.
No issue. Take your time.
I'll just get a glass one.
So, guys, I would just like to remind everyone to be respectful. It's not necessary that, this is the whole point of this live is to be open to discussion, to learning
True.
new things.
Yeah.
So, that is just one pointer that we would really like if everyone would be open. If you have questions,
Yeah.
more than happy to answer them and be
Yeah.
interactive, but be respectful. That I felt like a school teacher right now. Like, yeah.
True.
But yes, that is very important. Yes. Welcome
Yeah,
back.
thank you. So sorry for that.
No
No problem.
issues.
So yeah, that was a romantic love story. It was not. It did not have was. It never was love at first sight. It was actually hate at first sight. And then when we actually got to talk to each other, first we had this assumptions about each other that you know there were some rumors that we had heard about each other, so we never really liked each other. But after a few years, when we met and we had a proper conversation, that's when I realized that okay, she's not that bad. And that one conversation over a Suleimani chai on the streets of Bangalore is where it clicked, and we realized that okay, there is some potential here. And it started off as friendship, and as we started hanging out, we realized how filmy we are, both of us. We are a total Bollywood buff. So in fact, the first time I felt like attracted towards her was when we started dancing together randomly on the song Chaya Chaya.
Wow.
We, without even choreographing it, our steps match and we sync together. And I was like, yeah, this is the one. So that's where it started, and it was always easy with her because we were friends first, and we could talk about anything under the sun, and the conversations were so beautiful that we never realized when we actually fell in love with each other.
That is so
So
cute.
romantic.
I have to ask if you could make a remake of
I was
any
going to ask
yeah,
that. I
of
was going
any
to ask that.
Bollywood film, with your love story or with both of you in it, what film would that be?
So we always say this, if you take any Bollywood movie for that matter, it can be a lesbian love story.
Hmm.
So for example, kuch kuch hota hai, instead of Rahul and Anjali, uh, you can always have Anjali and Tina fall in love, or you
Wow.
take
Yeah, that's true.
Kabhi Khushi
That
Kabhi
would be
Gum.
so much sorted.
Ideally, they should have fallen in love
It's
because
not,
Rahul was a
Rahul was
red
a red
flag.
flag.
Yeah,
Complete red flag.
cool.
yeah. Even Kabhi Khushi Gum,
Hmm.
the entire scene where Amitabh Bachchan says, I will not accept this relationship, and because it's not as per his will. That's a struggle that queer people face. Our
Correct.
parents are not accepting about our partners. You can fit in any queer story into any Bollywood movies. To be honest, it's just that you don't need to view it differently. Our love story is just like any other love story.
That
And
was
in fact, if you guys follow us on our Instagram, which is Nick and Shantika, you will see we have created a remake of our favorite Bollywood romantic epitome song of Surajwa Matam,
hmm.
where instead of Shahrukh and Kajol, it's Nick and Shantika showing some queer romance.
It's very cute.
Yeah.
So, Nick, you were talking about acceptance, and I would like to ask if you're comfortable. Did you face any challenges at your home or in your friend circle about when you decided to come out, or when you both decided to start your journey together?
Um, so acceptance is never easy, because for a lot of people, they don't understand this concept. They think that it is something very different. But for me at least, whenever I have come out, and of course you need to find your safe space to come out. You don't really need to catch hold of a stranger and tell them, hey, I'm a lesbian. It's not required. So
Hmm.
it's very important for us as queer people to find our safe space and be comfortable to open up about ourselves to people who would give us that safe space and comfort. So every time I have uh, told about my identity to people around me, I've been lucky enough to have friends who have been supporting. Uh, for them, it was as simple as In fact, I remember this one thing that my best friend said when I told him that I'm a lesbian. He said, "That doesn't change anything for me. You're still my Nick. You're still my best friend." So that's how I want the world to view at us. But unfortunately, there are instances, where we face certain kind of discrimination. And again, because me and Shantika, we are so out, and we have a public profile, and we create a lot of content towards LGBT awareness on our Instagram channel. We get a lot of hate comments, a lot of people coming in abusing us for no reason, talking crazy things about us, things that I can't even mention here. So yeah, it is sad. But one thing that I strongly believe is, with awareness will come acceptance. As long as you come and see us, um, you see that our life is not different than any of yours. Our romance is not different than any of yours. Me and Shantika also had the same fights, what to watch on Netflix. Yeah, why did you leave the wet towel on the bed? It's just like any other couple. It's nothing different. It's nothing abnormal, like a lot of people say. It's as normal as any other love. And that's where I our motive is, when we go out there and try to normalize this narrative, when we will be there. And thanks to you guys for giving us this platform. We want people to see this, see the kind of people that we are, and realize that there is no need for this judgment and discrimination. We're just as human as anyone else.
So, Nick, you spoke about creating a safe space, and I would like to know how, like, if somebody wants to be supportive, so how would they create a safe space that you will be comfortable to have an open dialogue?
Yeah, so please understand that for a person, um, it is a lot of internal struggle. As much as it is an external struggle, there's a lot of internal struggle. There are a lot of people who take a lot of time to come to a realization of what their identity is, who they really are. There are a lot of questions that young folks while growing up, even I had these questions. I was questioning myself. Why my classmates like boys and I don't like the boys? I like the girls. I have crushes on girls. There was no, there's no clear guidebook that okay, this is how you become a lesbian, or this is how you're supposed to behave when you are gay, or anything like that. So it's everybody's internal struggle and journeys are very different. And when somebody comes to you with a trust that they feel that okay, I can share something about myself which is so personal to me with this person, I think the least you can do is respect that. Show
True.
them some empathy, understand where they're coming from. You don't need to, they're not expecting you to give any solution or solve their life problems for being queer and all the discrimination that they face. They just expect you to be there and listen to them, because uh, there are a lot of us, a lot of queer people, they don't really get the kind of support from their friends and family. So it is very important to have that safe space created for them. And
So,
it's not just that. While you are, if your friend is queer and comes to you and tells them about you, tells you about them, listen to them calmly. Don't ask too many questions. It's as simple as you will not ask, you should not ask questions that you would ask any other person. Like for example, we get this question a lot: how do you guys do it? Okay, you guys are lesbian, how do you guys have sex? That's a question that we always get to hear. But would you do the same thing to any straight couple? Would you walk up to a straight couple and ask them how do you do it? So it is as simple as that. Don't cross your boundary and don't get personal with anyone. And when you see such things happening around you, it is also important to take a stand and say that, and call it out that this is wrong. Don't just be there and be a part of the audience.
That was
yeah,
quite
every,
insightful,
yeah.
and I feel like that is so important, because even I feel like a lot of people want to be supportive, but they don't know how. And sometimes the curiosity makes them sound a little insensitive. Like I
Yeah.
feel like people just want to know, but like you said, boundaries are very important, like what we would not ask each other or like a straight person is just what not you shouldn't be asking someone else. So I think that's
Correct.
super important.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I wanted to ask, a lot of people have been actually asking, what is like your piece of advice, because I think it takes a lot of courage to be your true self, whatever that may be, you know. How would you kind of navigate that for someone who's possibly, you know, we have a lot of young viewers, and what piece of advice would you give them to be their true self, and kind of have that courage to live up to that?
Yeah. So first of all, there's no rush. Take your time. Figure out what you are, what you want, how you want to uh, express yourself. There's no pressure. No one is never come under peer pressure that okay, there's so many people coming out, so even I should come out. Your struggles might be different. Your the circumstances that you're living in might be totally different. So don't make that rush. Don't get under any kind of peer pressure to uh, announce your identity or your sexuality to the world, because you never know what's in store for you. It's very your safety comes first. So you need to ensure that you are connected with the right resources, right people, and there's so many support groups across the country, in every city, that you can reach out to. In case you're struggling, in case you don't know how to go about expressing yourself or exploring your sexuality or your identity, go talk to a therapist. Look for a queer affirmative therapist. Reach out to these organizations. So like there is Nazaria in Delhi, there's Safo in Calcutta, there's Gacy in Bombay. There's so many support groups across the country. Just reach out to us, even on our profile, and we can always help you out with queer affirmative therapist, with all these support groups. They will help you in case you face any kind of difficulties, because a lot of younger folks uh, face a lot of challenges from their home. They
Yeah.
probably get disowned, probably get thrown out, and because again parents will not accept you overnight. It's a struggle that you have to cross. I mean, you cannot accept, only the few lucky ones probably will get acceptance, like in a click of a second. But it takes time, because even for your parents it is something new. It's a new concept for them. But one thing you know for sure, that your parents also love you. They would also ultimately think about if you are happy or not. So give them that time. Give them time, educate them. Maybe try making them watch some movies or read some books or connect with. Again, there are groups like Swikar organization, which is a group of supportive parents who have accepted their kids lovingly. And if your parents are having that difficulty, you can always reach out to these groups and talk to other parents, because at least they can give them assurance. kabhi kabhi we don't listen to when kids say, but when other parents are saying, maybe that can have an impact on that.
True.
And one thing that really has helped me personally, and I would suggest this for everyone, is being independent. Try and find your financial independence. Try and find your own security. Try not to be dependent on anyone, because just in case something happens, something goes wrong, you should be able to take care of yourself first, and that is the most important.
That was very helpful.
Yeah.
So, before we sign off, I have a quick game for you. So,
Oh,
you just have to give a reaction on the phrases that people have
Yeah.
about the LGBTQ community. Your reaction could be an expression or a one liner, anything. So, your reaction to the people who say it's just a phase.
try it out.
Okay, your reaction to people who say we love you and you inspire us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
That
because
is,
that's a lot of the comments
yeah,
here.
a
A lot
lot
of the
of people
people are
are
saying
praising.
that. So
Okay.
I hope all the audience members know that that was the response for y'all.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have
So,
more?
no, that's all.
Okay, awesome.
So
Just want to say once again, Nick, thank you so much. I think that was so important to have these conversations, because the more we talk with people and like have these open discussions, I think the awareness, and we sensitize ourselves to a lot of things that we may not have, like, understood, or our perspectives were different. So I really want to thank you for taking the time, coming, sharing your experience with us. And yeah.
It was a pleasure being here, and thank you for everyone who was listening to us. I would go through the comments later, but yeah, it was lovely being on the show, and thank you for giving us the space. And this is what we want: more and more space for queer people, so that our voices are heard, our identities are seen, and our acceptance is eventually, you know, coming to us.
Yes,
So thank you
amazing.
so much for
Thank
thank
having
you
me.
you.
so much.
Bye.
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 Wow, that was so insightful. I
Yeah.
keep saying this word, but I feel like it's so important for us to like hear people from the
Community,
community
true,
talking
true,
about
rather
their,
than us, like
us just
we,
assuming or talking
true,
for them.
yeah, the things that she spoke about, safe space,
Yep,
standing up against the discrimination, are very important,
absolutely.
we sometimes see things happening and we are just sitting there.
Yep, yep.
So ultimately we become a part of the discrimination if we are not taking any stand.
100%. I also like, when we were talking about Bollywood, I think it's so important to have like good representation, like in the media also,
True.
because like we have grown up
Hmm.
by seeing these very specific types of characters or
Yes.
love
Yeah,
stories.
a girl and boy falling in
Yeah,
love, and that's the only image that we have,
have, yeah. And I just wanted to ask, so is there like a favorite character that you have
I
who's,
I do have actually. Do you know there's this show called Sex Education on
yeah,
Netflix?
yeah,
Have you watched it?
yeah.
So there's this character called Eric.
The best friend, right? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, he's
yes,
amazing.
amazing.
Yep,
He's this fun, outgoing person, and he does face a lot of challenges. But
yep.
at the end, he knows he has his friends and family supporting him. So I
Yeah,
think
and in that, now that you're talking about Eric, I think again his self-expression is so strong
strong.
throughout all the seasons. So
Yeah.
I have personally enjoyed that. For me, I have a more like I would say a mellower version. It's David from Schitt's Creek. Okay,
Oh,
and he is just like so unapologetically himself. I think that's what we need to learn, like just being our authentic selves.
yeah.
His personality is a little different. He's a little bit more on the, emo side, more black and white and more grunge. So I really like that about his fashion sense.
Oh,
But I think throughout the seasons also, he's just so like, as she said, like it's not part, it's part of who they are, it's not all of who they are,
true,
so I
true.
think that was something that was really cool
Hmm.
throughout.
I
And
haven't watched that show,
you
but
should,
because of this character, I'm
you
going to watch
should,
it.
yeah, you should. All the characters,
Yeah,
besides the point, all the characters in that show are amazing, and it's really well written. So yeah,
nice.
yeah.
So, talking about media and a lot of more, I think we need more enlightenment.
Yes, but before,
Before that,
yeah,
yes.
we haven't forgotten that we are going to announce winners. I think we should announce our first two winners. Let's have our first winner on screen. Congratulations,
Astha.
Astha. You know the drill. You need to send us your information, and we at this at live at
Yeah.
purple.com send
Your
us your,
name, address, your phone number, and you will be having your gift hamper at your doorstep.
yes. And let's have our second winner. Congratulations, Wendy. I've
Wendy.
actually been seeing all your comments. You've been very, very sweet and supportive, and we really love that. So, congratulations. Please send us all your details at this email address so that we can send you a very nice gift hamper. Amazing. Great. So, talking about
Coming back to
representation, yeah,
yeah.
let's actually call on our second guest.
Yeah. So our second guest is this again fun, outgoing person. She is high on self-love and mental health. And without wasting any time, I am very excited to talk to her. So let's have on the screen Divya. Hi Divya.
Hi!
Hello, how are
What's
you?
up? I'm not aligned. Okay, I'm gonna get aligned.
Little bit,
Yeah.
huh? Perfect. This is great. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you guys? You guys look very
We are
pretty.
also very fine.
Thank you.
So Divya, would you like to tell us a bit about your personal journey?
Okay. I there was a community in Bombay. My coming out to even myself was a very, I have a very library love story. I used to go to this public library to study as a kid because home was just home and it was not, I would just sleep all day. So I was just, I knew to study, I was in grade 10. So I started going to this library and then this girl started getting me food and then we became friends and then it was a whole, oh my god, I think I like this girl. And then eventually went on like she also likes me and that kind of gave me like a ticket to realize that that is possible, that it is, it came, for me it was never about is this normal, for me it was is this possible, and it helped me realize that it is possible. And this person who I'm talking about, she actually got in a lot of comfort. So I didn't have a lot of, resilience with myself in terms of accepting it. I was also someone who always chose myself. I was a selfish child my entire life. So I was like, if this looks right to me, then this is it. Like if I have to fight the world for it, I will do it because to me this is right.
Amazing. A lot of people are actually commenting on your tattoos, and I always love them. Is it
Thank
part of like your self-expression of your personality? And I'm saying this because even I have tattoos, and everyone's just like, "Hey, what does that mean? Tell us what that means." So I'm just talking about like, does it help you express the kind of person you are?
So, to start with, I started tattoos really young. I started getting tattooed when I was 16.
How is that
Which
allowed? Don't you
Yeah.
have to
it
sign
wasn't
somewhere?
allowed. I just did it. I'm telling you, I just did the things I loved. And at this point, I have about 46 pieces on me.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
Yeah.
insane.
nice.
So my entire arm, it portrays a lot of my very feminine energy. I have a lion with
Oh yeah,
flowers
I can see
around
that. Yep.
it.
Nice.
I have a lot of flowers, a lot of mandalas, a lot of because as much as I may be, I mean dress Western and all of that, I'm very influenced by the Western culture. But I'm also very very Indian, so I have a bunch of mandalas that go into my flowers as well. So yeah, I think it embraces like a lot of my power, my femininity, and it comes like my a lot of my mental power comes with being born as a vulva owner.
Wow, that was a very cool way of like articulating that. Um,
So, you spoke about like expressing yourself, and I've stalked your account, and it's very high on self love and mental health. So, where do you get this motivation of staying optimistic?
Have you heard of this saying that you have to start driving your anger into your passion?
yeah, it
Oh,
basically says like turn your pain into like purpose. It really
Yeah.
can be driving.
So
Yes.
that's exactly what happens to me. It's a lot of childhood, it's a lot of school, it's a lot of college, it's a lot of pain from every angle of my life that goes into oh you didn't like me or oh you don't want me. I will make sure that I become a version of myself that you can only see and then you will not have access to it.
Amazing. So, I want to ask you about like you spoke about again. I feel like this expression of our identities validates them even more, right? Like we become more sure of ourselves. And
Yeah.
I just want to talk about like just self confidence because I feel a lot of people from the community may suffer from that because maybe they're not represented enough in spaces or in public spaces, or they don't have that safety net or whatever of those things that a lot of people who are straight may have it. They do have it. There's no may. They do have it. So, how do we kind of like, how have you made peace with that, or how have you kind of built your self confidence?
This is just looking at it this way, right? That confidence does, it's not a single handed game. It's not that, oh, I'm cishet, so I have a lot more confidence, or oh, I'm trans, or I'm n bi, so I don't have as much.
Hmm.
This is literally about, I mean, I think confidence is a very internal journey. It's not very particular in terms of being queer, or being straight, or being any identity on the face of this planet. It has a lot to do with how you see yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, confidence starts with body. Like if I'm feeling good at what I look at in the mirror, I can convince my brain that I'm fabulous.
Absolutely.
But that's how it works for me. There are a lot of people that in the community, in my circle, also struggle with confidence, struggle with being open about opinions and all of those things. But I think it just comes with fighting your fight. Like, this is my opinion. If I'm going to have 10 people hate me for it, then be it. I'm standing up for myself. It's like saying that if my 10 friends love me, I don't care what the world thinks. It's the same thing. So I like myself, right? I'm happy with my actions. I'm happy with however I'm functioning, and that's it. I'm at peace with myself. I think being at peace with yourself and whatever gives you validation. Like for me, looking at me physically gives me a lot of validation. So that really helps.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And so talking about like validation and how you look, like like is there like a special routine that you follow for your skin? Because you're glowing right now. So I need to know like and I know that you do like enjoy doing a lot
Yeah.
of makeup. I
And
for
you also
Yeah.
travel a lot. I've stalked your account.
I,
So,
I actually, more than travel, I used to live in Himachal for 3 years.
oh
That's
yeah,
where the
like a
travel
while
came
back,
from.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now
yeah,
I'm
like
based in Bombay though.
pardon?
Now I'm based in Bombay, but a while ago, about 2 years ago, I was living in Himachal for 3 years.
Yeah. I remember. I remember. So, getting back to the question, I wanted to ask about like your beauty regime, if you have one, and like how does makeup, like you said, the way you look is very important because it helps you feel more confident, right? So, what are the things that you do to like make yourself feel like the best version of yourself?
In all honesty, I used to be a version of myself that didn't do skincare.
Mm.
Like, so for me, it all stems down from as a kid, my mom kept saying sunscreen and moisturizer so much that I was just like, no, I can't do it. Like, because she's saying it, I won't do it. And then, you grow up, you have brands like yours teaching us, your Instagram teaches us so much about how to use product and what time to use what product. So it really helps because now I'm only a sunscreen, moisturizer, and face serum in the night girl. But
It's a
I
good
also do
yeah,
routine.
less is more.
Good routine. Yeah.
I do it because I mean you have to take care of your skin. I have seen examples of skin going bad without sunscreen, skin going dry without moisturizer. I have also because like I apply a lot of makeup during when I do drag, and it's like heavy makeup, like it's like kilos and kilos of concealer on my face. So it just I cannot just it's like you cannot just keep like running an engine, you have to oil it once in a while, right? Only then will it run well. So it's like if I take care of my skin, my makeup will also look better. I might probably need lesser makeup and lesser concealer if I take care of my skin better.
That
So
was
it was
a
just that
great
logic.
analogy of like the oiling the engine so that it runs longer and works better. You spoke about like drag. I just want to like touch upon that subject for people who may not be that familiar with it. So can you just tell me about how you kind of um, came into your personality? I know you've done a few shows and they look really cool. So tell us a little bit about that.
So for everybody who does not know, drag is a self-expressive art form. It actually started as an art form in England,
Mm,
where men dressed up as women for
women.
theatre,
Correct. Yeah.
and then women were like revolutions happened. Women got more access into the universe and to live their life, do their thing. So drag became a very queer, affirmed art form. What I do essentially is spoken word and dance in drag. My drag name to start with is It. It's called ITT. And why I do drag is for the exact same reasons that I use Instagram as an app, which
Valid.
is body positivity and mental health. My spoken word speaks a lot about mental health, about questioning why I am a certain way, why am I supposed to be bound to being a certain way. And my drag has a lot to do with body positivity. It's not every day that you see a plus size person on a dance floor in a bikini. You know, it's not every day that you see that. So when you see it, so I had one. So I have a trademark in each of my performances where I have photos from a nude series that I'd done, and I cut them into small, really small confetti-sized pages. Like I actually sit and cut them like 1 hour before my performance, and somewhere in the performance, I've put a space where I can throw it out to the crowd. And this was after my first performance. A person came to me with that photo in their hand and said, I'm taking this photograph not because I like you, not because for any reason of external beauty, but because I'm going to keep this photo in my wallet so that I know that this is the version of myself I want to become. And that is when I felt like, okay, maybe my art form is actually valid. Maybe my art form is actually helping people.
That is so cool. I think that's like, again, that's so important. I've realized, like, through conversation, that in like a sense of community and openness is so important to validate how we feel and like how we
Yeah.
kind of express
Yeah.
ourselves. So
Talking about validation, I do have friends from the LGBTQ community who have faced a lot of difficulties and challenges for being accepted for who they are.
mhm.
So have you ever come across any difficulties while growing up which you would like to share with us, which you would like to share with us? Sorry for that.
It was never. So that's what I think. I am this. I know a lot of people that face this, but again, coming to me, I'm not trying to be boasty, but I'm just a version of myself to whom only I mattered. Like nobody ever mattered. You don't like me. You don't like something about me. You can see the door, leave. You don't want to leave. You want to fight me. You fight me and then leave. But if you want to stay, you have to accommodate this entire being. Like it's not. I'm not gonna lessen any version of myself for you to accept me, or and that's something I do like everywhere, like professionally, personally, everything. Like I come as a package. So I think with validation, it is yes for me there is some level of validation. Like I need my peers at work to be happy with how I'm doing. I need my friends in my personal life to know that I mean no harm to them and then they can trust me. But when it comes to external validation, I think as many people that struggle to it, I just want to tell you that what matters is you being there for yourself, you standing up for yourself, you being fully mentally, physically present for yourself. Like your entire universe is going to be you. Like if you are 18, I think like if you're 18 and 20 and even 25, I can give it to you in writing that by 35 the world is going to change. Your friends are going to be married. Nobody gives a fuck. It's just you and your life. Sorry, but yeah, just nobody. It's just going to be you, and your entire life has to revolve around the fact that you have to make yourself happy.
I think that was like a great summary of essentially how we should like
Yeah.
be functioning as individuals,
Yeah.
irrespective of like how we identify ourselves. Like at the end of the
Yeah,
day, it's just the self-love really shines through. It really does. Before we wrap up, again, I feel like we should can you give me like a little
Advice
advice? Yeah.
on people who are facing difficulties to identify their true self, and also advice for people who are not being completely accepted in their family or in their friend circle for who they truly are.
can I tell you something super cool?
Yes.
My family does not know that I'm queer.
What? But you're
Oh.
so like
Yeah.
vocal on, like, do they
Yeah,
not
on
follow you? Like I've seen
social.
like your dad on your stories and things like that. So I just
Yeah, but
can.
no, but my family does not know that I'm queer.
Are they going to see this? Have we?
No, no, they won't see this. I'm sorry, Purplle, but my fam won't see this.
Okay.
But
Okay.
so it's about. I think they do definitely have a hint because I look like this and I behave like this. Um, but I think coming out I did see Nick speaking, and they spoke very. I don't know what. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing them wrong, but they spoke very valid points in terms of coming out does not have to be, oh shit, I have to come out. It doesn't have to be a task. It doesn't have to be something on your checklist. You know, come out at your own pace. I came out to my friends before I thought I can come out on the internet.
Yeah.
I came out on the internet way after I went to my first queer party in 2022 after being out and proud for 10 years.
Wow.
So everything has its time. You don't have to force anything. If you feel like coming out to yourself and experiencing this journey with yourself is important to you on a personal level first, then do it that way. If you think telling your, for me, my friends are everything. So to tell my friends things is my first priority always. So I want to tell each of them everything about being queer, my gayness, my journey, my like every day to day life, right? But I don't think coming out has to do with anything with regards to society. You don't have to come out to be obligated. You don't have to come out to feel like, oh, I'm accepted now. Again, all your acceptance, your I want to come out, your I want to feel great about myself is you. You do not need any human's validation. I'm also a single child, right? So a lot of my validation comes from my house, but I have tweaked my brain in such a way where now it's only me that matters. It doesn't really matter whether my family knows or doesn't know. Because in the end, I'm living my life, right? So you come out when you want to. If you've come out and your family is not accepting you, it's the same thing as Nick said. Start doing something to be financially independent. Start functionally earning good money to let go of the toxicity. Toxicity is not going to work out. It's a clingy rabbit hole. It's just going to take you down. If you want to go ahead in life, you got to leave the bad stuff. And to leave the bad stuff, you have to work hard on your today. So work hard, leave the toxicity consciously, even if it means cutting ties with people you love unto death. Sometimes people you think are godly images are actually not that. They're just not healthy for you, and it's okay. So create a boundary for yourself, create a circle that you associate with, and be independent. Financial independence is the ticket to your universe.
That's very wise. And before we sign off, we have a game for you, quick game for you. So I'll be giving you some phrases that people usually have for the LGBTQ community people. And you just have to give a quick reaction. Your reaction could be in the form of an expression or a one liner. Okay? Your reaction on people who say there are only two genders.
Yeah, you wanna try mine? Mine is one too.
Okay, your reaction to people who say we support you and we stand with you.
Oh, I love you. Thank you. I support you too.
Amazing.
That's very nice, and I think the last reaction was for a lot of people from our comment section.
Yeah, I think you should, like, once you get a minute, just go through how, like, supportive they have been, and that is,
Yeah.
like, so important again.
Totally.
And I just want to thank you again, Divya, for joining us,
Thank
Yeah.
you for having
opening
me.
up your heart, and, like, being yourself everywhere you go. I think I really like that about your personality, because I follow you on Instagram, and I'm just like, wow, this she's just like at it, like, on good days and bad, and I think that's a huge learning for anyone. So thank you.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Thank you.
take care.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much.
Yep, bye.
Thank you, Shikha. Bye.
Wow, I am enlightened, and I've
Yeah.
just really enjoyed
Yeah.
listening to what they have to
You know what?
say.
I can have a panel discussion with all the individuals because it is so like so positive and they are so optimistic about
Yep,
everything.
that is
And
true.
I have learned a lot of things. I think at the end it is just how you respect every individual in
Yep.
your
I
life.
mean, that's the bottom line
Yeah.
of everything, to be kind and to be respectful. Um, Talking about being kind, I think we should announce our three
Third,
winners,
yeah.
all three, like
All three, okay.
yeah. So let's because the thing is we have really learned so much and we are
Yeah.
almost at the end of the live. So as we always promise you all, 5 winners. We have 3 more remaining. So let's have our last 3 winners on the screen, one by one.
Yeah. Our team is working on that. Oh,
Oh,
we have
they're all
all
there.
three.
Congratulations, Maria, Alia, and Neeraj. I have seen you all commenting and sending across your supportive messages. Thank you so much. Please send us all your details at this email address so that we can send you a very nice gift hamper exclusively from Purplle. And yeah, anything that you want to say? What have you learned so far from this live session?
I think, like Nick spoke, creating a safe space is very important where they trust you
Yeah.
and they can have an open dialogue with you, standing up against the discrimination. If you're just saying, "Oh, I didn't do that,"
Huh.
you're a part of that, bro. If you're not taking up a stand,
That's true.
and just being very accepting of everybody in life. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my learning.
I think that's a good one. I think it encompasses everything that we have spoken about in this.
I would like to know your learning too.
So I personally feel like I want to be more involved, like how to give back a little bit more. Like education, yes, of course, is important, but also being a little bit more active, maybe like help out at an NGO or like be part of volunteering somewhere. I think that would be like something that I would really like to do. And also something again that Divya and Nick both said is just taking your time with your journey is so important.
True.
Like be it your coming out journey and acceptance or just your journey as a person, like we're still trying to figure out who we are.
Yeah.
And I feel like taking your time with it is super important. So I think that would be one of my other learnings from this
True.
really
We would
cool
like
episode.
to know, yeah, what our audience have learned from this episode. So please comment down. We are waiting for you.
Yeah, everyone's saying that they're feeling so positive. Thank you, Wendy. I have been seeing all your comments. You've been really, really nice and kind, and we've seen all your hearts. So, right back at you. And a lot of people are saying this has been inspiring. We are glad that we had this
Yeah.
conversation. We're able to discuss these really important things with each other, with our guests, with y'all. And yeah, I think let's wrap it up. And we
Yeah.
will see you guys very, very, very soon. And until then
Then we
Purplle
purple
you.
you.